Welcome to Middle Class Matters, Business News in English from Dr. CMA Allegation. Hindenburg Research Report on Adani stock manipulation and accounting fraud, read in full as per the report, part number 27 continued. Question number 46. We found that a silver bar merchant based at a residence with no website and no obvious signs of operations run by a current and former Adani director lent INR 15 billion US dollar 202 million to private Adani Infra with no disclosure of it being a related party transaction. What is the explanation for the lack of required disclosure? Question 47. What was the purpose of the loan and what was the original source of the silver bar merchants funds? Question 48. Gardenia Trade and Investments is a Mauritius-based entity with no website, no employees on LinkedIn, no social media presence, and no apparent web presence. One of its directors is Subir Mitra, the head of the Adani Private Family Office. The entity lent INR 51.4 billion, US dollars 692.5 million to private Adani Infra with no disclosure of it being a related party loan. What is the explanation for the lack of required disclosure? Question 49. What was the purpose of the loan and what was the original source of the Gardenia Trade and Investment Funds? Question 50. Milestone Trade Links, another claimed silver and gold merchant, also run by a long-standing employee of the Adani Group and a former director of Adani companies, invested INR 7.5 billion, US dollar 101 million into Adani Infra. Once again, there was no disclosure of it being a related party loan. What is the explanation for the lack of required disclosure? Question 51. What was the purpose of the loan and what was the original source of the Milestone Trade Links funds? Question 52. Another secretive Mauritius entity called Grow More Trade and Investment netted an outright US dollar 423 million gain through a stock merger with Adani Power. According to court records, Grow More is controlled by Chong Ching Ling, an individual who shared a residential address with Vinod Adani and had been named in DRI fraud allegations as director of a key intermediary entity used to siphon funds out of Adani Enterprises. What is the explanation for this windfall gain to an opaque private entity controlled by a close associate of the Adani family? Question 53. What is the nature of Chang Ching Ling's relationship with the Adani Group, including his relationship with Vinod Adani? Question 54. Listed Adani companies have paid INR 63 billion to private contractor PMC projects over the past 12 years to help construct major projects. A 2014 DRI investigation called PMC Projects a dummy firm for Adani Group, given that constructing major projects is Adani's business. Is PMC Projects in fact just a dummy firm? Question 55. PMC Projects has no current website. Historical captures for its website show that it shared an address and phone number with an Adani company. Numerous employee LinkedIn profiles show that they work concurrently at both. Several expressed confusion at whether there was any difference. Is PMC Projects a mere dummy firm for Adani? Question 56. Newly revealed ownership records shows that PMC Projects is owned by the son of Chang Ching Ling, the close associate of Vinod Adani mentioned above. Taiwanese media reports that the son is Adani Group's Taiwan representative. We found pictures of him literally holding an Adani sign at an official government event where he represented Adani. Once again, is PMC Projects a mere dummy firm for Adani as yearly alleged by the government? Question 57. If so, why hasn't either company reported its extensive dealings as being related party transactions as required? Question 58. In financial year 20, Adi Corp Enterprises only generated INR 6.9 million US dollar 97,000 in net profit. That same year, four Adani Group companies entities lent it US dollar 87.4 million or more than 900 years of Adi Corp net income. These loans seem to make little financial sense. What was the underwriting process and business rationale that went into making these loans? Question 59. Adi Corp almost immediately relent 98% of these loans to listed Adani Power. Was Adi Corp simply used as a conduit to surreptitiously move funds into Adani Power from other Adani Group entities and sidestep related party norms? Question 60. Why have listed Adani companies paid private entity Adani Infrastructure Management Services INR 21.1 billion US dollar 260 million over the past 5 years, given that the listed company's business is also managing infrastructure? Question 61. Listed company Adani Enterprises paid US dollar 100 million to a company ultimately held by private trust of the Adani family in the British Virgin Islands BVI, a notorious Caribbean tax haven, with the claimed rationale being to pay a security deposit to use an Australian coal terminal. Why did the listed company need to pay such lucrative fees to Adani private interest? Question 62. Adani Enterprises has had 5 chief financial officers over the course of 8 years, a key red flag suggesting potential accounting irregularities. Why has Adani Enterprises had such a difficult time retaining someone for its top financial position? Question 63. What were the reasons for the resignations or terminations each of these prior CFOs? Question 64. Adani Green Energy, Adani Ports and Adani Power have each had 3 CFOs over 5 years, while Adani Gas and Adani Transmission have both had CFO turnover within the past 4 years. Why have Adani entities struggled to retain individuals at its top financial positions? Question 65. What were the reasons for the resignations or terminations of each of these prior CFOs? Question 66. The independent auditor for Adani Enterprises and Adani Gas is a tiny firm called Shah Dandadriya. Historical archives of its website show that it had only 4 partners and 11 employees. It seems to have no current website. Records show it pays INR 32,000, that is US dollar 435 in 2021 in monthly office rent. The only other listed entity we found that it audits has a market capitalization of about INR 640 million, US dollar 7.8 million. Given the complexity of Adani's listed companies with hundreds of subsidiaries and thousands of interrelated dealings, why did Adani choose this tiny and virtually unknown firm instead of large, more credible auditors? Question 67. The audit partner at Shah Dandadriya, who signed off on Adani Gas annual audits, was 23 years old when he began approving the audits. He had just finished university. Is that individual really in a position to scrutinize and to hold account the financials of a firm controlled by one of the world's most powerful individuals? Question 68. The audit partner at Shah Dandadriya, who signed off on Adani Enterprises annual audits, was as young as 24 years old when he began approving the audit. Is that individual really in a position to scrutinize and hold to account the financials of a firm controlled by one of the world's most powerful individuals? Question 69. The audit partner signing off on Adani Gas and Adani Enterprises annual audits are now both 28 years old. Again, are they in a position to credibly scrutinize and hold to account the financials of firms controlled by one of the world's most powerful individuals? Question 70. The auditor for Adani Power, an Ernst & Young affiliate, gave a qualified opinion in its audit, saying that it had no way to support the value of INR 56.75 billion, US $700 million in investments and loans held by Adani Power. What is the Adani Power's full explanation for the valuation of these investments and loan? Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, please share to your friends and relatives to educate them on these investments, and thanks for watching.